Hi traders, welcome to this video on Bitcoin BTC versus the USD. It has been a while since we did a last update, so I thought we can finally take a look again for 2020, what's happening with this cryptocurrency. Of course, before we dive into the charts though, please take a look at Ultima. It is an automated, fully 100% automated trading system, trading basically the markets without any intervention needed. And we're basically offering it as a cost-free here, upfront costs zero, and profit sharing model until mid-February. You can see the live backtesting results and live performance, of course, at this link right here. Now, let's take a look at the markets. All right, this is a monthly chart, and basically what we're looking at here, I think, is a potential continuation. Very curious to see if the price will close above the 20 EMA high. We did get a strong pullback about 6 months so far, but this bounce finally creating a higher high. We didn't have that. We only had lower highs, as you can see, continuously. This could be a first higher high, but I would like to see a candle close near the high. Good candle close in January, not too far from the high, preferably above 8,500. The closer to 9,000, the better, really, of course, so that the bulls are in control. Now, this could be a classical break, pullback continuation. The trend is certainly up. In my view, when looking at the long term, of course, obviously, with certainly confirmed recently with this break and pullback above the 20 EMA. So we have all the moving averages aligned, and we have price above it here. So this looks like a deep retracement, but I think that this looks like a break pullback continuation for the moment. So let's take a look at the weekly. On the weekly time frame, it looks like price is trying to push through this resistance trend line. It, in fact, already did that after bouncing at the 144 EMA. That happened after price made a strong ABC correction here. ABC, you can see price hit the 61.8 fib, went down to the minus 272 target, made a bounce back up, then down again towards the minus 61.8 target using the fibs. Pretty classical in this ABC zigzag. All right, so as you can see, nice fib bounces here. And I think that that could have completed the ABC correction basically at the 144 EMA with the break above the trend line. And now last week, 2 weeks ago, the break above the 21 EMA off the weekly chart, there could be a bullish breakout. That 21 EMA on the weekly chart is pretty important. The first one of the breaks that we had in the recent years was back in 2015, in fact, October. That's when price rebroke above the 21 EMA, and it stayed above that all the way for this bullish basically move until the end of 2017. And it really took long, somewhere in 2018, before it broke below it. So that was, of course, as many know, an amazing run of about 3.5 years where every weekly candle was more or less above the 20 EMA. Then we had another breakout above the 20 EMA here, and now here again. So it is pretty important, I think. Could be a first signal that a bull run is about to start. But let's take a look at last time. We did have a couple of candles basically above the 21 EMA. I would like to see the same here too. Same similar pattern would be great. And then a bullish continuation candle. And I think we should be ready for another bull run. If it doesn't have to be exactly like this, obviously the market repeats, but doesn't have to be exactly the same pattern. So we could also see, for instance, perhaps a push, then a pullback, and then a bounce again. Basically a break pullback continuation pattern on the weekly chart, similar to the one on the monthly chart. So I'm bullish. I'm leaning towards a break at this moment, but I would like to see a clear follow through. That would be nice. Plus, I would like to see some flag or pullback and then a bounce. That would be ideal, but I don't know if we'll get that necessarily. So let's see. But if it's just a couple of candles like that, then a continuation, yeah, that could be interesting to keep an eye on those candle highs of the weekly chart for that follow through to the upside. Target, well, yeah, that's a difficult one, I guess. It could we got a 61.8 fib bounce, so probably conservative target would be aiming for the minus 61.8 target, basically, if I could show it to you, but can I reach it there? It seems about 20,000 is the minus 61.8 target at the moment, plus the previous top, obviously. But the first target will be the minus 272 target. Considering the fact that this is an uptrend, of course, if you want to be a little bit more skeptical, then aiming for the counter trend fib could also make sense. For instance, like these deep fibs, or even the 61, we got a trend line like that still to deal with. So if you want to be a little bit more conservative, 11,000 at the 61.8 fib could still be a level to think about. Then the 78, then the 88, then the previous top, and then basically the previous high up in here, right? So those are levels to think about. If for whatever reason, I don't think so, but if it were to re-break below the 20 EMA, that would not be good for the bulls, in my view at least. So in that case, I think that if it re-breaks below the 20 EMA low, well, yeah, then it probably can go down to the 78.6 fib here, or the 88, somewhere in this zone. That would still be support. Let me put the fib precisely. There we go. Around 5.4 or 4.3, still levels to reckon with. But if it breaks through that, yes, then there could be more follow through to test those levels. That should be bouncing spots though. Let's take a look at the daily. And here I think we're looking at a inverted head and shoulders pattern that already had a break of the neckline to the upside. We have a clear higher lows already established above the 20 EMA. So I think a decent channel taking place right now. And I think that this could itself be a pullback and continuation taking place. If we put a fib, let's get rid of the other fib here. Sorry, let's get rid of these fibs like that. And let's go to the daily again. So let's put a fib from here to here. Typically, if this is a wave 3, it will get up into these fibs. So with a bounce here and a continuation, this is really starting to very much look like a wave 3, 1, 2. And wave 3 can be big, of course, and strong and impulsive. So that's starting to look like it if we get a continuation here. It's certainly a good channel so far. So looking good on the daily chart for upside at this moment, I would say. 4-hour chart, clear momentum, ABC pattern towards the 61.8 fib. Very strong rise, pullback and continuation. Yeah, this has a lot to, looking very much like a wave 3 for the moment, I think, on the daily and the 4-hour chart. Looking at this time frame, let's see, 1, 2, maybe some type of wave 3, 4, 5 taking place here. Not sure about that. 1, 2, what is this already a 3 and this is a 4, 38.2 fib finished. Not sure. But in any case, doesn't matter. I think that most importantly is that there's a pretty shallow fib bounce here. There's a 144 EMA standing in the way. So I think that if price breaks, pullbacks, and continues on a 4-hour chart, that looks good as a confirmation of the daily upside. We're looking at the daily, either a daily candle close, for instance, above this high up in here, for instance, in this zone, could indicate an upside continuation if a daily candle closes above that. Even this candle is already pretty good, actually bouncing off of it. So that's one confirmation. The second above this, and in a 4-hour chart, a break pullback continuation would confirm, I think, the follow through on the daily. So that's what I see. Strong uptrend at this moment, strong breakout, good daily 4 hours channel. So I think a continuation higher very likely. And on the hourly chart, I think that soon it will look the same. It's a little bit mixed picture on the hourly because of this stronger correction here, this ABC correction. But I think that could, if there's good momentum like that, flag a continuation very likely. So let's see. Once it does start to continue on the daily, right, and it does make a break pullback on the 4-hour like that, I think that for the moment, going up to 10,000, very likely. Then waiting maybe for a new pattern and then a follow through up to these levels could very well be on the table for the moment. And we might get a follow through to 11,000, for instance, 10,000, 11,000, and then we'll have to see how price responds there. If it continues, then maybe we're getting that uptrend that was mentioned already on the weekly, and we might be then breaking through this resistance trend line, and there could be a follow through to the previous high at around, what is it, 12, 13, 13,700, something like that. So for the moment, 4-hour and daily continuation to this zone. Then we'll see if there's a flag. Then there might be very well a break through that trend line and a retest of this top and maybe even this top. All right, that's it for now. We'll do a new update again in February. So we keep up to date with this Bitcoin, BTC, USD, of course. We'll see you then. Of course, other videos on the euro dollar, pound dollar more regularly, twice a week at the very minimum. I hope to see you in those videos. And wish you all great trading. Cheers.